Hi, I'm Rachel Schell, Tech Coordinator for Archford Education Service Cooperative. This video is a teacher's guide to plan for blended learning. In the 2021 school year, Arkansas Public Schools will provide blended learning options to all students. In this video, we will explore what is blended learning, how do you plan for blended learning, and steps to set up your online classroom. What is blended learning? Blended learning is an educational model that incorporates face-to-face learning as well as online learning. In the book Blended, Horn and Staker define blended learning as an education program in which a student learns at least in part through online learning with some element of student control over time, place, path, and pace, and in part in a supervised brick-and-mortar location away from home. This means learning can happen at school, at home, at a friend or a relative's home, or practically anywhere. Blended learning allows students to have control over different aspects of learning, which includes when and where they learn and the pace in which learning happens. How do you plan for blended learning? As a teacher, you plan for blended learning much like you would for a traditional course. You design your content around the standards, learning objectives, and goals. Let's take a look at an example. To view this example, you can follow the link provided. This is a blended learning plan created by a second grade teacher. In this example, she is planning a math topic for her students. First, she writes her objectives, standards, and I can statements. Now that she knows the goals, she can determine how she will measure if students have learned by planning her assessments. Once we know how students will be assessed, we can begin to think about how to provide students with the information they need to learn. One of the most powerful tools in blended learning is the ability to collect real-time data. Using assessments that provide immediate feedback to you and your students is known as real-time data collection. Once you have the data, you can use that data to retarget learning and help students reach learning goals. Once we have a plan, then we can write the instructions and notes that will help us develop, find, and create the content. The final section of this example is the Suggested Student Pacing Guide. This resource serves two goals. First, it allows you to walk through the learning process as a student. You can see where you need to add more content or take things away. Second, this pacing guide can be provided to students and parents to help them stay on track. If you would like to use this template to prepare your blended learning classroom, you can download a blank template at the link provided. A few final tips to help you as you are planning your blended learning classroom. Look at what you're currently doing in the classroom and ask yourself, how can this be done online? Can you use Zoom or Google Meet to take the place of your face-to-face time with students? Are there online activities or games to support what you're teaching? Direct instruction should be turned into a video or an online resource that is available anytime to students. This can include creating your own videos or finding videos, articles, websites, or other resources. Interactive activities should take the place of paper worksheets. Many students will not have access to printers or scanners. That means worksheets will be difficult for students to complete in the online classroom. Consider making your worksheets interactive or finding other activities to take their place. Common formative assessments, or CFAs, and other assessments that collect real-time data need to be used on a regular basis. Real-time data collection is a powerful tool in blended learning that allows you to help more students reach learning goals. Steps to set up your online classroom. Setting up your online classroom for blended learning can be broken into 3 steps. Step 1 is to plan. Start with the essential standards, decide how you will assess your students, and make a plan on how you will teach students what they need to know. The template in this video is a great place to start. Step 2, develop. Create your online assessments. These can be summative or common formative assessments. Determine how you will track real-time data with these assessments. Create or find learning materials to support your assessments. Digital learning resources are available in the Arch Forward Blended Learning Teachers Facebook page. Step 3, design. Set up the online classroom in a learning management system. Learning management systems include Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology, etc. Determine what interactive tools you will need. For example, Zoom, Google Meet, Padlet, Kahoot, or the Google Suite and other apps. Design your class so that the same tools are used in the classroom and when students are away from school. Planning your content is the first step in the blended learning process. Team Digital will be releasing training and resources focused on teaching in the blended learning classroom. If you have questions, please reach out to me, Rachel Schell, or your digital learning support specialist with Team Digital for blended learning support.